Electric Soft Parade on XFM 104.9. Not long to go on our triumphant return. I think. I think the papers will be saying, Steve.
Yes. Yes.
Karl. I've met Karl a couple of times in our sabbatical, and he said to me once. He said, "Oysters." So I said, "Have you ever tried oysters?" I don't like them. And I went. He said, "Oh, it's just a thing about swallowing them whole." You know. He went, "Well, the reason you have to do that is just they're fatally poisonous, and if you bite into them, they kill you." And I went, "Well, of course they don't." He went, "Yeah." I went, "Well, of course they wouldn't." "What if you chewed on out?" He said, "No." I said, "Well, so you swallow them whole and they're not poisonous?" He went, "Yeah, see." He said, he said, when you swallow heroin in a Johnny, he says, that doesn't kill you, does it? That was it.
Oh.
And then, about a week later, he went, "I was wrong about them." Yeah, I went, well, he said, yeah. And what did you say?
It's if you eat them, and then you have some whiskey.
They turn deadly when whiskey comes into contact with them.
Yeah, when they've had a drink.
When they've had a drink, they get a bit rowdy in your stomach. They start fighting, they can cause...
So what are you saying now? Are you saying you don't believe that?
Am I saying what?
Are you saying you don't believe that?
Look, he thinks he's got us here. He thinks he's got us here. Yeah, I don't believe that if you eat an oyster, then drink some whiskey, you die.
You might not die straight away, but you won't feel...
Eventually, 50 years' time.
If you've got to keep on drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
a bottle a day.
50 or 60 years later, he was dead. Yeah. Oyster and a bottle of whiskey a day. Oh, then out of nowhere, 40 years later...
Where does this information come from, Karl?
If some doctor called up now...
Yeah.
...and put you right, would you believe him?
If it wasn't Dr. Fox. Yeah.
What about the airy lads growing up with the werewolves and that?
They didn't grow up with werewolves.
Grow up with werewolves.
You've confused about three different
stories. Just a genetic mutation where they were born with very, very hirsute.
There were a couple of kids, yes.
They didn't grow up with wolves, and you can't kill them with a silver bullet. I mean, you're confusing two things.
There were some kids who were very, very hairy, yes.
Yeah.
They're in folklore. There were some kids who grew up with wolves, yes. I don't think the two are connected.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as werewolves, Karl.
You
believe me, I saw a documentary on it on the History Channel. You'd have loved it.
You grew up with a magpie.
Werewolves.
You know, you don't flap around, do you, and steal people's jewellery.
What was the thing you told me about snails?
Have you ever had any post that looks like it's been opened?
Occasionally, yeah.
Right. Well, what it is, it's not your postman having a
sneaky look.
A sneaky look. Problem is...
Right.
Slugs.
The problem's slugs?
Slugs, at night, they like nipping about and that, and it gets a bit cold. And in London, like in the country, they go into the grass, don't they?
Right.
But in London, it's like, oh, what can we do? And, they go in letterboxes.
Slugs go in letterboxes?
Get in letterboxes, it's nice and warm in there, dry and what have you. And,
these are homeless slugs, aren't they? The ones that have lost their shell.
When they're in there, they only found out that they love glue. They've been eating the glue off the stamps.
Right.
And, people have been getting charged for post because it hasn't had stamps on it. It's like, well, I put a stamp on it. Yeah. It's like, slugs have been eating it.
Sure.
And they also eat the glue that's on the actual envelope shutter. And it's a real popular problem, this, that, letters are being lost and opened and all that stuff. Yeah. Slugs.
Slugs like stealing postal orders and things and cashing them in and stuff.
Yeah, again, you know, if there's a doctor, if there's a postman.
Yeah.
Well, with us, two expert witnesses, a doctor and a postman. So postage is a real problem.
When we see a slug's trail, or a snail's trail...
It's glue.
That's the glue they've stolen, is it? That's a little...
I'm not going to say yes to that, because I'm not sure.
But we could follow that trail and find them, and they'd have a big sort of...
big pile of letters.
Our stamps and...
Yeah, there they are.
Like birthday cards from our aunts and
yeah, but £2 notes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Wow.
Slugs.
Wow.
So, oysters and whiskey kill you, and slugs.
Be very careful if you're going to go out this evening, you're thinking of having a whiskey, maybe some oysters, be very, very careful.
Yeah, and if you are going to post a letter, please do not use tasty glue.